we know the big talking point is who's going to win the title. Is it going to be Chelsea reclaiming the Premier League title? Is it going to be Liverpool? Is it going to be Man City defending the title? Or is it going to be Manchester United winning the first title after Sir Alex Ferguson left the team? I just want to touch on each of these four teams, and I want you to tell me the key to each of these teams winning the Premier League title. Let's start with Manchester United. What do you think is the key for them winning the Premier League title? Talk to me here.
I think it's consistency. I think it really is. Sometimes they'll have an astounding result against, Leeds 6-2. They'll beat Man City. They'll beat, when Scott McTominay scored, was it last season? So sometimes they can have these amazing results, but then you see them against Southampton away, some kind of smaller games. Their team doesn't have the right mentality to step up to the smaller games. If you want to win that Premier League title, you need to be 100% in every single game you step out on that pitch. You can't be 20% this week, 60%. And that was the key to every single team. Leicester, that's probably the most notable kind of shock title win. Who expected them to be so consistent on a basis? And they did it and they ended up winning the whole thing. It's a 38-game season. You can't fluke it. So I think the main thing for United is consistency and really believing in themselves. Because I think their team isn't built with winners, in my opinion. Now Ronaldo's there, it could help that a lot. But yeah, I think it's mainly about consistency for them.
Yeah, so what about their manager, Ole? Do you think they could actually do it with a so-called physical education teacher in charge? You knew that was coming. You knew that was coming, right?
I was waiting for it. I was like, is he going to make the joke about this? But I would have loved to have him as a PE teacher secondary school. It looks like a very easygoing guy. But yeah, I think Ole, many United fans will agree with me. High tier, low tier Man United fans will all say the same thing. They have a world-class group of players with a very average manager, in my opinion. And I'm going to keep comparing it to Chelsea, Dominic, because I'm a Chelsea fan and I always do this. But we had a team, in my opinion, that wasn't built to win the CL with Thomas Tuchel. But with a world-class manager, you saw the change of the season, changed it all around, and we ended up dominating Europe. So, yeah, I don't think Ole's the right man. Stick Antonio Conte there. Stick any other manager that is of a higher tier, even Zinedine Zidane, in my opinion, and they will go out and win many, many trophies. And Ole, I mentioned the mentality and the consistency issue, and I think Ole is at the heart of that, in my opinion, and he is the main downfall of Man United right now. You saw the Carabao Cup last night as well.
Yeah. So five seasons, I think 5 years. Last time they won something was the 2016-17 seasons when they won the Europa League and the Carabao Cup under Mourinho, and since then they haven't won anything. And for a club of their size, they have the biggest stadium in England and everything in terms of capacity, and they haven't given anything back to their fans after what their fans have been given to them. So I think it's rather unfair, and it's selfish of the board to actually keep Ole in charge of that team after year after year of just being unsuccessful. It's like settling for mediocrity, basically. Sancho in, Ronaldo in, Bruno Fernandes, Varane, Maguire, Wan-Bissaka. This is a lot of money spent. You talk about City spending money, they're spending a lot of money. Let's see if they're going to actually have something to show for it come May. I didn't make Premier League predictions this season, but I doubt. If we learn anything from what happened against Young Boys, if we learn anything from what happened against United, it's just this disjointedness with the team. Like, 1 week you think you're going to put out the all-star 11 and the next week you want to switch it up. So I don't think they have that continuity in them to actually win the league. And you spoke about that consistency, and I think that is the key. Talk to me about Liverpool. What does it take? What would it take for Liverpool to win their second only Premier League era title?
Well, first of all, I like to say I'm a massive fan of Liverpool, and that might be rich coming from a Chelsea fan. Many Chelsea fans don't like the Liverpool kind of team, how the club kind of works, but I love their style of play, their intense football, their, heavy metal football, you like to call it. Jurgen Klopp's heavy metal football is beautiful to watch at times, and yeah, I'm in love with them. But we saw last season what was the catalyst to their downfall. It was injuries, wasn't it? Virgil van Dijk picking up massive injuries. Joe Gomez, Fabinho was injured for a lot of the season. Henderson was injured, but the front three stayed fit. So I think the basic kind of vanilla kind of answer here would probably be injuries. All they need to do is keep Van Dijk fit, keep Gomez fit, and we've seen just by the start of the season, whether they've been playing against Norwich and all these other teams, Van Dijk has made the world of a difference to that centre-back position. It's, for me, about the high line. I think when you play a high line, you need a defender who's a great leader, who has pace, who's so confident at commanding that line. Last season, Ozan Kabak, you can't blame the lad. He's a young defender. He can't do that. Same with Nat Phillips as well. Yes, he's an upcoming defender, but he's nowhere near the stature of Van Dijk. If you think about Chelsea throwing in Xavier Umbiamba for Rudiger, it just wouldn't be the same kind of player. So I think, for me, it's about keeping these players fit, because if you have Van Dijk fit the whole season, in any team in Europe, you're up there to compete for any trophies.
Yeah, I recently saw a Liverpool fan on Twitter made a statement, and I got, I'm like, I was puzzled, right? He said that Salah is the best player in the Premier League right now. I said, listen, before I even debate you about the Premier League, Salah is not even better than Van Dijk. Yeah. Van Dijk is the reason why you're going to win things, not Salah. Salah could score as many goals as he wants. If you don't have the backbone in defense to stop the balls from going in the opposite end, you're going to lose games. Sure. You're going to lose games 4-2 and 3-2. Yeah. You see what I mean? Salah had a great Salah had a great season last year. Even though he could have had more goals, he was still up there. He's always been up there. But how many titles does Liverpool have to show for it on with Mo Salah in the team? 1. But when Van Dijk came, transformed the team, he got injured, they went down. It didn't happen immediately, but during a sustained period of time, first half of the season up until Christmas, and then as soon as the New Year started, it was a slide. So I did mention that at the beginning of the season, that the key for Liverpool to launch a serious title campaign is fitness. Fitness, keeping their players healthy. They have personnel in the team who can do the job, who can do a satisfactory job, but they have to keep their players fit. Exactly. Talk to me about the holders, Manchester City. How could City, started in a very choppy, very weird start like last season, how could City defend this title against a Chelsea, a United, and a Liverpool, who are all the main contenders?
I like how you kind of mentioned holders at the start. A nice way to kind of throw that in there. You are the Premier League champions, obviously. Fair play to you for that. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of different things you can mention for this. We could have mentioned all the different things we've said so far: consistency, fitness. But for me, it's about finding your best 11, which is never easy with the most hand-screwed players you have. In the four positions, for example, you have many players who can play them roles to a high caliber. But you need 3 who you can rely on for the big games against, the Chelseas, the Spurs, not really the Man Uniteds, the Liverpools, other teams. You need a front 3 who are going to, similar to Salah, Firmino, and Mane, that front 3 has been, maybe not this season, but have been their consistent front 3 for years. Chelsea don't really have one yet, but that could be an issue as well. I can mention that later. But for me, Man City have too many talented players in their positions to not pick out front 3. Is it going to be Grealish? Is it going to be De Bruyne in the centre forward position? Is it going to be Foden, Sterling, Bernardo Silva, any of these other players you can play? You need to find a set front 3 who are going to play the big games and they're going to deliver for you. You can rely on them. Maybe there's a bit of a bold, who are we going to play up in this game? Who can we decide out of our players training? Oh wait, we have these 3 who've been so consistent. They've got us goals, they've got assists, they've been so good this season. Let's get these 3. And I think that has been Pep's downfall at times, fiddling around with the lineup in the CR final without playing a CDM in big games. I don't quite remember a lot off the top of my head right now. Maybe changing it to a 5 at the back.
Many times, bro. Many times. The overthinking is just, look. It's just ridiculous. It's just overthinking after overthinking. Look at that.
You're waiting to bring that up.
Listen, I had no plan to bring it up, but I had to reach for that. It's just the overthinking after overthinking. But he has been successful. You see what I mean? Man City have won 3 of the last 4 Premier League titles, and it's testament to the great work that Pep has done on and off the field with the team. So, look, it's tricky because Man City seem to always start cold in a way, lose one here, lose one there, draw one there, and then when they really find a formula like last season, unstoppable. So it'll take a lot of stopping. Listen, I'm telling you, all you opposition fans, opposition teams, City will take a lot of stopping this season. So whoever wins the title, they're going to have to do a great job. Is it going to be Chelsea? Taron, did you pick Chelsea to win the title at the beginning of the season?
Unfortunately, I did. Unfortunately for Chelsea fans, I did.
And is this something that you do every year, or is it from your assessment of the business and the momentum from the Champions League win and from last season? Talk to me.
If I did that every year, unfortunately, I would be called biased. And obviously, last season with Lampard, I actually didn't say we'd win the title. Despite all of our signings, I still thought, you can't just embed all these players into one team and expect to click like that all of a sudden, especially in the kind of COVID period we were in with the moving in and stuff. So yeah, I wasn't expecting. But this season, for sure, I'm expecting us, especially with the signing of Lukaku. Without a striker, I would have said maybe second, with the possibility of pushing on with Havertz centre forward. But with the one position that we definitely needed in Romelu Lukaku, I would 100% say we are up there with the Champions League win as well. We needed a clinical finish in our team. We've seen many, many chances. Look at our creative numbers last season. WhoScored.com, Sky Sports, you look at all of them. We're number one in chance created, but like 14th in chance conversion. And, XG last season was up there with Brighton's. It was like so high, the expected goals, but actual goals were much, much lower. So that's what I'm saying. We needed a clinical striker. With Lukaku, we've seen his impact in the first few games. Just one shot and it's a goal. Aston Villa, very, very low XG chance from the edge of the box, bangs it in top bins. This is the difference that a clinical striker makes. And that's why I'd put Chelsea as title favourites. As long as we can keep big names fit, like I've mentioned with Liverpool, I think we need to keep Rudiger fit. I know he doesn't have a large injury record, but if we get Rudiger injured mid-season, I'll have huge worries. Because for me, he's just behind Lukaku as our most important player in this team. And we have no real replacements. We saw Malang Sarr last night against Aston Villa. Nowhere near. It's comparing a donkey to a horse, in my opinion. You can't really compare these two. I think Rudiger is absolutely class. And Lukaku, like I said, he's made all the difference so far. It's just about the big game goals. He's been criticised for in the past, but his mentality's changed being under Antonio Conte.
Yeah, so Thomas Tuchel is a very, very important part of you guys actually lodging a title bid as well, because Lampard was a joke stint, in my opinion. Former legend and everything, given the job, I think too prematurely, and Thomas Tuchel had to come in to do I think Thomas Tuchel came in to do more of a band-aid type patch-up job and help you guys finish the season strong, and he delivered a Champions League. So his first full season in charge, let's see what he does. You guys have been very, very good defensively, very good going forward as well, always seem to get the job done. But as you said, Lukaku has to show up in the games when they matter. You see what I mean? And that could be a problem. That could indeed be a problem. But if he doesn't show up, the other players are showing up. The Alonsos are showing up with the goals. You have even Kovacic, Kante. These guys are showing up. You guys have about, 13 different goal scorers? 12? So... It's
mad, yeah. This season we've had crazy different numbers of players. Yeah. It's like Lukaku has made everyone else better as well. So it's beautiful to see, actually.
And I like Thiago Silva. He's been ageless in defense as well. At 37? He just turned 37 yesterday, I think. And Rudiger is a new man on the Tuchel. Christensen, I looked at a picture of Christensen on Twitter and I'm like, God damn, I used to laugh at this guy like 2 years ago. I was like, this guy's a joke defender, man. He has really, really improved. Aspilicueta, he was phased out by Lampard. You see him, he's doing well. Reece James, oh man. He's a bright, very, very bright spot. Mendy and even Kepa wants to compete and actually get games in the big matches. So I think all four teams would fight really hard this season, and it'll be one of the most interesting title races we've seen in a very, very long time. So thanks for actually answer that one.